You're facing a big decision. Should you rent or buy a home? It feels important and a little stressful because this choice affects your future. You sit down with your laptop, you start searching for answers, but everyone says something different, and that makes it confusing. You look at housing prices. They seem very high. It feels like buying is getting harder, and that makes you hesitate. You think about renting. It feels easier and more flexible, but you wonder if it's the right long-term choice. You're not sure yet. Then you discover something powerful, a simple concept called the 8.71% rule. It sounds small, but it changes how you see everything. You realize buying a home has hidden costs, not just the price you pay up front, but ongoing costs every year, and they add up quickly. The first cost is property tax, around 1.11% per year. You must pay it no matter what, and it never stops. The second cost is maintenance, about 1% every year. Things break, things wear out, and you have to fix them. The biggest cost is the cost of capital, around 6.6%. This is money you could have invested elsewhere, but instead it's locked in your house. You add these numbers together, 1.11% plus 1% plus 6.6%, and the total becomes 8.71%. That's the real yearly cost of owning. You look at this number again, 8.71% every year. Even if your house value doesn't change, this cost still exists. You write it down carefully. This is important. It helps you think clearly, not emotionally. Now you compare it to renting, monthly rent versus ownership cost, and things start to make sense. You finally see the full picture. You calculate your break-even rent. This tells you what renting should cost to match owning financially, and it's eye-opening. You feel more in control now. You're not guessing anymore. You're using numbers, and that's powerful. You start looking at renting differently. It's not just paying someone else, it's buying flexibility and freedom. You can move whenever you want, no long-term commitment, no need to sell a house. That feels freeing. You sit comfortably in your space, no stress about repairs, no surprise costs. It feels simple and easy. If something breaks, you don't fix it. The landlord handles it. That removes a lot of pressure and saves time. You also notice lower upfront costs, no big down payment, no closing fees, just rent and deposit. But renting has downsides too. You don't build equity, your money doesn't grow, and that can matter long term. Rent can increase over time, sometimes unexpectedly, and you don't control that. It can be frustrating. You can't fully customize your space. It never feels completely yours, and that can feel limiting. You depend on your landlord. Their decisions affect you, and that can feel unstable. So renting gives freedom, but not ownership. It's a trade-off, just like everything else. Now you look at buying a home. It feels more permanent, more stable, and more serious. You imagine owning your place. It feels exciting, something you truly own and control. You build equity over time. Each payment increases your ownership and grows your net worth. You can customize everything, paint walls, change design. It's fully yours, and that feels good. You also get stable payments with a fixed mortgage. That brings predictability and comfort. But buying is expensive up front. You need a large down payment and closing costs. That's a big commitment. You become responsible for everything. Repairs, maintenance, problems. It's all on you, no one else. Something breaks, you fix it. And sometimes it's expensive. That can be stressful. You also lose flexibility. Moving becomes harder. Selling takes time and effort. There's also financial risk. If you can't pay, you could lose the home, and that's serious. You compare both options again, renting versus buying, side by side, more clearly now. You realize something important. Neither option is perfect. Both have advantages and disadvantages. The real answer depends on time, how long you plan to stay. This changes everything. If you stay short-term, renting is better. Less commitment, less risk, more flexibility. If you stay long-term, buying can win. Equity builds over time and costs spread out. You think about your situation, your goals, your plans, and your lifestyle. This matters most. You calculate your numbers again using the 8.71% rule, and it becomes clearer, more logical. You stop thinking emotionally, no more guessing, just facts and numbers. You feel more confident now because you understand the system and how it works. You make a smarter comparison, rent versus buy, based on math, not opinions, and that's powerful. You imagine two different futures, one renting, one owning, and you compare them. You see how renting gives freedom but less long-term growth. It's flexible but limited. You see how owning builds wealth but requires commitment and responsibility. You realize it's not about right or wrong, it's about timing and your situation. And that changes your mindset completely. You decide to think long-term, not just short-term comfort, but future impact. You also think about opportunity cost, what else your money could do if invested differently. You understand flexibility has value, just like ownership does. Both matter. You realize financial decisions are personal, not one size fits all, and that's important. You feel more in control because now you understand the trade-offs. You review everything you learned, the costs, the benefits, the risks. You feel proud of your understanding. Most people don't think this deeply, but you did. You remind yourself to always use numbers, not emotions, when making big decisions. You ignore what others say and focus on your situation. That's your advantage. You stay calm and logical, and that leads to better choices. You create a simple rule: always calculate before deciding, no guessing. You follow that rule consistently in every financial decision, and it pays off. You feel confident moving forward because you understand, and that brings peace. You enjoy your life more without financial stress, and that's powerful. You move freely when needed or stay when it makes sense. You have control. You stand confidently in your decision, no doubt, no confusion. You look toward the future, ready for what's next, and prepared. You realize something important: smart decisions build wealth over time. You look at the viewer and think about their choice because it matters. So remember this: use the 8.71% rule. Think long-term and choose what's right for you. Don't follow opinions, follow the numbers, because smart decisions build real wealth. At the end of the day, this isn't about renting or buying. It's about making the smartest decision for your life. Most people follow emotions. They follow what others are doing. But you now have something different. You have the numbers. So before your next big decision, pause. Ask yourself one question. Is this actually the smartest move or just the most popular one? If this video helped you see things differently, hit subscribe, because the next decision you make could save you thousands. And remember, don't follow opinions, follow the numbers.